Kize. I'm a musician, I'm a guitarist, I'm a beat maker, I'm a producer. I play for a band called Santa Experiments.
My name is Leboham Mure. I'm a beat maker, DJ selector, creative, band manager. I work for Digging Thoughts, a company called Digging Thoughts, and I manage a band, Santa Experiment and TUG, the hip hop band.
We've been active. Yeah, we've been even before, until now. But we've been active.
But we've minimized our activities because of the numbers and stuff. So even within the office, it's only us who are employed under the same umbrella who access, a few visits there, but following obviously the protocols of the whole situation. But we are active.
Of course, we sanitize every day. Always keep the masks on. Keep the spaces clean. Eat healthy as well. We practice eating healthy as well. Like having a good diet. After all in all, that's basically the basic stuff that is required for us.
Okay, and you same?
It's nearly the same because we occupy the same space. It's mainly cleaning up, making sure that everything is okay when people come in the morning. This place is fresh, because we use it for many things. Have our sanitizer there, our water there, the door, just keeping safe and clean. With us, as a company, we've managed to put our word out there to get donations and small fundings just to keep, because with us, the office has to run every month. There's payments that need to be done every month, so we need to always have something in the bank account, the business bank account. So we've set out measures of getting funding, getting food stamps from people, because sometimes when you ask for money, they tell you they don't have, but if you're like, can you hook up maybe a food stamp or something, then they'll just give you a gift voucher, utilize it to buy food, because people need to eat every day. There's plants, there's nice juices over there. So we've set out structures, but with performances there hasn't been an income because we haven't been doing it that much, and we haven't been live streaming because we've been doing it a lot last year, and this year we wanted to find ways of making an income through it, so we haven't done much performance and revenue through performances.
Santa Experiment is a world ancestral music band. It's a 6-piece band on stage. It's an experimental band in the sense that we go with energy and genuine spiritual emotion, I guess, if I may put it. So we are that band, unorthodox band, out the box. So it even goes to tell with our image and we paint when we get on stage. There's a significance to that too, it's kind of like gels in with how we move on stage. And the paintings have colors as well. There's the white color, there can be the red, and colors have meanings too in terms of frequency. But we're trying to get through the frequency of the music, and we use it as a medium of healing, and so we get everyone in that space. Whatever stage we find ourselves in, it's pretty much that.
That's amazing. So basically you guys play music, and at the same time while you guys are performing, you guys are doing paintings, sending different frequencies via music and art at the same time.
There's even somebody that dances even as we play, and he interprets what we are playing and he gives it to the audience, you know what I mean? And it's just a vibration thing. So it's how deep it goes with the person. It's not about black or white, young and old. It's just how it catches you and it connects to anybody at any time. So yeah, that's what Sanka is, mainly about. You know what I mean? The words Sanka means out, so the sun is out.
Okay.
So that's what we're about. We bring light, we bring the sun. So yeah.
Then with the bands I manage Santa, then I manage TUG. TUG is a hip hop band, Tam and Real Scott. And when we manage both bands, we try to do it differently, With Santa, we can go to an extra point of doing educational stuff with NGOs, taking it to the rurals, doing something different off stage. Then with TUG, it's something different because it's hip hop. And the two MCs that are part of the band, they've been active within, Tony Dangler and Taki, they've been active in their own rights, And with TUG, it's a message of self, to the black youth that you are God yourself, You can do whatever you can do to survive. Like for now, there's this whole thing that is happening which is important to the culture, what I mean? It's content building, and content is our revenue in the next coming years. So with TUG, that's what we're trying to push, that black man is God, you are God, and being God meaning you can do anything, meaning doing anything is you can use your creativity to reach out, to teach, to touch, and the message always comes out controversial, because our white friends sometimes don't like it and they think maybe we are against their God and stuff, but with TUG just hip hop and trying to push a different message, of awakening, of upliftment, but still having that hard banging hip hop, and this time being the beat, with the three masks. The unveiling part is the masks, the three instruments at the back, us being the beat, instead of we grew up with sampling, with chopping, finding loops, which is still fine and nice, but this time we become the beat, we become the instrument, we become everything. So the message becomes that full vibration. So with my work, it's always interesting, but an interesting challenge, because sometimes you have to go this side with these guys, then next time you have to be this character. So it's a nice fusion of art, also ancestral.
They're not doing enough, if not anything. But I feel like artists, have to sit at the back, get a back seat. And artists in general, not just musicians, there's less focus, in terms of the creative world. And when you used to be creative for a very long time, and suddenly you can't be creative for a very long time, that can mess up with an artist's psyche, So that needs to kind of change, and nobody is taking that into account. And artists reflect our times in the world we live in, and if they're not there, they're not present, the masses won't even get to understand what time or what we live in, because everywhere we live, and every part of the world, we are governed by art. There's art. So if artists have to be taken back and take the back seat, hey, it's kind of rough, we feel like we can't go further, financially, and we can't do things and create. But instead of that, man, all we have is our art, and my brother just spoke of content building, so that's what we have. So we can just work on that,
And art on its own is the biggest contributor to our financial, structures in our country, if not the whole world, for example, if one festival stops, how many sponsors have stopped? How many artists don't have a job?
Right.
Someone who's cooking doesn't have a job. Someone who's selling their crafts don't have a job. Someone who's doing this, that is part of that whole thing. You know what I mean? So
the whole economic, or rather the ecosystem, gets affected.
And they're creating an imbalance. Because like you said, if you stop art, there's no rhythm. Without rhythm, we're not going anywhere. You can dig deep and go anywhere, but without rhythm, there's an imbalance. And we're not saying they should go all out, but they should consider us.
Right.
And we know there's money, there's everything, there's other people who are the hierarchy concept, which is fine, but at least think of the meager ones, the microscopic ones, So I think they need to do more. It's your fault.
Oh, Something like that.
So I think
It's the skills.
So I think they need to do more, you
Yeah.
know, or at least a little bit more, you know, be visible at least,
Yeah.
because they're not visible at all, you know, they're not visible at all.
We're getting more into the educational side of things as well, like within our art space as musicians or as a band. We've ventured into teaching instruments, you know, guitar. We've managed to have a few students coming in, you know, which is something that we want to branch out on, like in the long run. Like we want to like get into creating art programs where we run art facilities and we reach out, you know, we go to remote areas, you know, sometimes even when we're around here, we have people coming in, we teach, but this is mainly focused on going out there as well, like creating programs where there's not so much access within the art space in that area. So we're trying to create that program so it can be more educational. So we teach kids how to play instruments, we teach not only kids, I mean it can be anybody, but we have a program where we teach people instruments and everybody in the band contributes what they play in the band. So everybody has their own group there, like, you know, classes there,
Yeah.
which is cool. Like it's very touching when you find out that you can contribute so much in a child's life and you teach something and they grasp it so quick, and it's like, wow, you just continued something. So why not just have more of it happening, and like it can be something continuous, and out of that movements can be born, and it's like, you know, a very big thing can happen.
Planting seeds.
Yeah.
And from you?
Apart from the education side, we're also focusing on beat makers. You know, we come from a school of beat making. You know, we come from a school of crate digging, you know, finding old records, sampling and making beats, you know, and we realized also that that's another side of life that people have kind of forgotten a bit. You know, a beat maker is only as good as the MC that is, you know, on their beat at that time. So we trying to gather different beat makers from around the provinces that we've traveled, you know, and trying to put them together and come up with ways to create digital bands from the beat makers themselves and try and sell it out there and perform it out there and travel it out there. And also tours, another thing that we do on the side that we're planning heavily since the COVID stuff. It's tours for next year, and there is coming. Hip hop doesn't tour. No one tours around the country. So many MCs, so many things happening, so many DJs, so many beat makers, but there's no tour. MCs don't know the guiding route. There's a lot going on, so that's what we want to contribute also on the side. That's what we're building on the side, so that we take people out and give them the experience and show them how much the music is being appreciated out there. So that's the things that we do on the side. And that's teaching, that's gathering the beat makers, you know, taking them out there, then tours and traveling around the country, you know. But for now, we've closed the tour gigs, so we're focusing on home now. If your bandwidth is nice, you know, and you have internet or data, you know, but I think, man, come over, let's jam, you know, let's see what we come up with. We're not bringing a crowd, it's just me and you. Come, let's do something, you know. Online is good, but ish, just come, let's work, you know, we have a roof, we have a space, come, let's jam, come sing, come, let's collaborate, let's create something, come and shoot, you know. Online is okay, but if you don't have data at that time, you mess.
Work it.
try by all means by, you know, sharing as much content as we have, you know, just to, because we also shoot some of the stuff that we do now, and we'll be chilling and like practicing a couple of songs, and just to show the activity that we still, you know, rehearsing or working on some music or some craft, other than like the educational stuff that we mentioned, but like we try as much create, like revisit, you know, the beats, you know, do other stuff as well. So like I think we're connecting more with the audience by just sharing, like, you know, most of our stuff. And like pretty soon there's more music that we're going to be putting out, like in terms of the beat side and the rap and the hip hop side, you know, MCs. So it's something that someone should be looking forward to as well, like incredible stuff. But like, yeah, so far we just put out stuff, sharing whatever content we have and whatever content we've had for so long and then it hasn't been out there, and just sharing our stuff, yeah.
We revise it all the
that question,
time.
yeah.
When it comes to finances, you have to, you know, at this time you have to sit down and try see how much you spent on yourself as a business and everyone, how much you spent on maybe yourself as an individual, and how much you spend on building, you know, and it's a lot. And you can't help but sit down and analyze if so much has been done, why didn't we achieve this? How can we achieve that? You know, there's this thing that we always say that starting from scratch sometimes is important at this time, because it takes you to a question of, if you were to start again, this whole thing, what things would you rectify on your way? So I think we're at that point now. If you're a creative, you're at that point of going back, you know, back at 1 year and doing it again. You have all the time. I mean, everything is locked down, you know. So you have all the time to even revise it practically, you know, and see. If you said, Lapa, I'm gonna do this, I was gonna do this, then go back now and try see if you start from scratch and close those gaps, how much you'd achieve when this whole thing dies out, because it's gonna be a whole lot of traffic with artists, all of us. So we choose, you know, hits against each other, and when I'm getting creative beef or anything, but it's just too much, you know. They will book some and not book some. That will create animosity, that will create, you know, stuff that is not supposed to be there. So it's important to go back and revise your structure, you know. How much ever you've made, whether you've lost, you've won, it's fine. It's time to revise and see, like, oh, how do we triple this? How do we make it 3 times more now? Because we are worth this, it's time to even understand how much you're worth as a creative. So that when someone comes and be like, hey, I have 5,000, you're like, no, I'm worth 300,000. You have proof that you're worth. So I think this time is okay to revise and go back.